In this lecture, we will discuss the reporting of child maltreatment. In Idaho, we have two different kinds of reporters. We have mandated reporters and required reporters. And this is laid out in the Idaho Child Protective Act. Mandated reporters include individuals who are medical providers, physicians, residents, interns, and nurses, educators, including teachers, daycare staff, teachers' aides, right, are all mandated reporters. Social workers, definitely mandated reporters. Coroners are mandated to report, right? And so a coroner would learn about child maltreatment, usually upon the death of a child. Right? Law enforcement officials as well are required to report. So if you're a police officer, if you are a probation officer or a parole officer, right, you're working for the Department of Probation or Parole, right, and you see that there is child maltreatment which is occurring in the household where your probationer or parolee is living, right, you are required to report this. Mandated reporters have to report maltreatment that they see as part of their profession. Idaho is a little bit different from some states in that everybody is required to report. Right? You might not be mandated as part of your job, right? But under Idaho state law, every person who has reason to believe that a child is being abused, neglected, or abandoned, or sees a child being subject to conditions or circumstances that would reasonably result in abuse, abandonment, or neglect is required to report. Right. Now, if this report is made in good faith, right, then you are immune from civil or criminal liability when making the report. So there are a few ways, right, to report child maltreatment. There is a statewide hotline for the Department of Health and Welfare. The Department of Health and Welfare conducts the investigations, right, and determines if a child needs to be removed from the home or if services need to be offered. There's a statewide number, 855-552-KIDS or 855-552-5437. If you suspect that a child is in immediate danger, right, you should contact law enforcement. Right. Department of Health and Welfare, it's going to take a little bit to get to the child. So anytime there's immediate danger, you need to contact law enforcement, right, through 911. Right. And you can either report via a phone call or you can find additional information on reporting at www.childwelfare.gov. Anytime you are making a report, it helps to have information. And this information should include the child's name, the family's name, their address and phone number, because Health and Welfare has to contact them in order to start an investigation. The current location of the child and a description of whether or not they're in immediate danger. So I'm not going to go into this too much, but Health and Welfare does engage in triaging. Right? If a case has been reported to the police because there's immediate danger, that case is going to move up the ladder. A description of any injury to a child and when and where that particular incident happened, the names of other people who may have information, if that's a possibility, an explanation of your concerns about the child's safety, your name, address, phone number in relationship to the child. Now, folks from Health and Welfare are not going to go around saying, yeah, I know Joe called and Joe's really concerned. They're not going to do that, but they need to be able to contact you, again, if they have more questions. Right? And then provide any other additional information that you have that might be helpful. Right? The more information that can be provided, the better. Right? So this has just been an introduction to how to report child maltreatment.